There ain't nothing as pleasing to the ear as Hazzard County on a summer morning, with a breeze humming through the trees and the crickets chirping in the meadows and a whippoorwill singing sweet songs. Of course, there's other sounds that ain't exactly made by Mother Nature.
This is the Dukes of Hazzard Review, Season 1, Episode 11, titled Money to Burn. Written by William Rayner and Miles Wilder, directed by Rod Amato, original air date April 20th, 1979, and here's the show preview right here.
Wanted for armed car robbery?
How high you want me to stack these bills?
Who is it?
I thought you were that no-account Bo Duke.
Either you losing your sight or I'm losing my figure.
This one's hotter than a hot rod in a haystack.
Paradise.
There we go. We are within spitting distance of the end of Season 1, the classic do. It's about to go away. For those of you who are new viewers or listeners from YouTube, welcome. We have reviewed all 7 seasons of the Dukes of Hazzard on our audio podcast already. And you can go back and find them and listen to them if you feel like it. But right now, we are here to do them all again for you here on video. I'm Rob Kibbe, longtime automotive podcasting know-it-all. He is Bernie McPartland, longtime long-winded automotive podcasting producer. And he is Justin Cornett. He actually knows it all. Let's get started.
I get long-winded too at times. Let's be honest.
All right, did we all rewatch the episode? I did rewatch it.
Yes.
Soup to nuts. Very, very fun. Very funny. How about you, Bert?
I forgot how much generally action is in this episode.
It starts out pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything that starts out with Al Wyatt stunt driving for Bo Duke doing full send stuff on 14-inch bias plies is pleasing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly how it starts. Let's go ahead and take a look at how we've done this before. So the original time we reviewed this was in episode 7 of the Kibbe and Finnegan show. That was 10 years ago. Then the 3 of us reviewed this last summer when Rick Hurst passed away. And Rick Hurst is the actor who portrayed Cletus Hogg, the second cousin twice removed of Boss Hogg. Here's the IMDb summary. Boss concocts a double your money scheme by reporting $1 million in retired currency stolen, framing Bo and Luke for the robbery, burying the money in a pine box, then, after receiving an insurance check to cover the losses, unearthing the loot.
Pretty good.
That's quite accurate. Bernie, did you watch this? Just curious.
No, I did not.
We were recording seconds before we...
It's running in the background right now, so I can watch it because I know you're long-winded enough. I can get through most of the episode before we actually get to the meat and potatoes and
Thanks,
soup.
Burn. DVD summary. Then the government was going to burn the cash anyway, so who'd miss a cool million and ragged bills? Besides, Boss Hogg has masterminded a scheme so that Bo and Luke are the fall guys. Fine.
Yeah.
Here's the Amazon Prime streaming summary. It's time for Boss Hogg to exchange $1 million old dollars for $1 million in crisp new currency. But the Dukes uncover his scheme to keep an extra $1 million for himself. These are all quite solid.
Mm-hmm.
They really tell you what it's about.
They were trying to actually do their job at, giving an idea of how the episode goes.
Being so close.
Do
you think they were sharing notes?
It's almost like they're referencing each other.
Yeah.
Here's my summary. Bernie got some summary music here. We reviewed this episode 10 years ago, and then 1 year ago, and now today. And I just pick up on more and more stuff every time. I thought this was an episode with, by, and starring Cletus in his debut in the Dukes of Hazzard. And it is, it isn't, and it is. In that order. Cletus Hogg is introduced to us in this Season 1 Dukes episode to play the role of Boss Hogg's second cousin twice removed. And he ends up in a bank heist. And he was in on the bank heist before it was conceived as a bank heist, and he then failed at the bank heist, which secures him as a job as a deputy in future seasons of this show. Because just like in politics, and as head coaches of D1 college football, some people just fail upward. Anyway, in this episode, Cletus is to help burn $1 million to aid Boss Hogg in a bank fraud, Bo and Luke saved the day by doing body snatching, only instead of a body, they snatched moonshine, which they thought was money. It all works out in the end, and we see the debut of Daisy's new old Roadrunner. We see a General Lee without Wyatt sending it on 14-inch wheels, and we all get to enjoy something kind of dumb and fun. This is also an episode where we will not see an in-car camera used on the actors. It begins. I give this 8 dogs. 8 corn dogs.
Wait, you said we will not see?
Yeah.
What about the in-car?
So in previous episodes, so in the later seasons, when they're in the car, they're on a green screen on a soundstage. On this one, it's the start of the soundstage, but you never actually see them in a car physically driving. They're now on a soundstage, bouncing around and doing stuff like that.
Well, the angle that I noticed that they used for the in-car, like through the windshield, it was like probably like 6-7 feet up, shooting down into the windshield so that you don't see any of the background. And then for Enos, it was the opposite. It was like right over the leading edge of the hood, and you still don't see much of the background at all. You just see kind of like a pale blue, like a sky type background.
I think it is early soundstage, but we don't see like a moving background behind them.
Right.
The bad guy or the security guard guys, when they're shot up super close. This is one of my favorite parts of season 1 episodes earlier on, is live in-car cameras of the real actors driving or being towed or something. At least you see real motion outside. Yeah. You see real dirt flying. That seems to be now over.
They did that a lot in the High Octane episode. You can see it a bunch.
We're starting to see the beginning of the next phase of the Dukes of Hazzard here. The first thing I noticed, and I just kind of took a random stream of consciousness notes this time, the gist of the episode truly is Boss Hogg has $1 million as the commissioner of the bank. He's supposed to turn it back into the government and receive new funds in its place. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know old currency had to be recycled. Mm-hmm. But according to this episode, it does. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to keep it and pretend to burn it and then get new money in its place and also claim some insurance. So it's just a money scheme. Yeah. He wants his second cousin Cletus to pretend to have an accident in the bank truck that burns it up. But Bo and Luke climb into the burning truck and save the money anyway. The gist of the episode is getting out of that. And you do see a lot of General Lee driving around. But I noticed right away, these episodes, they're like 49 minutes long. For an hour-length produced show, that's long. They're usually like 44.
Yeah, and I think I heard, I don't remember if we talked about it here or if I read it somewhere, but I don't remember what year it was, but at some point they started doing more longer commercial breaks. So they needed X amount of minutes for commercials at this point, which is also why, like, when CMT or TNN was airing these episodes, they cut a lot of stuff out because they still needed to meet that however many minute commercial break at over an hour. But I think sometime like in the early 80s, I thought it was that we'll say, 10 minutes? They went from 10 to like 12 or something.
Commercial breaks, you mean?
Yeah, 12 minutes or 13, 12, 13, something like that from 10. Pretty early in the series, I believe.
All you get is a little bit more car chase.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But we do see the General Lee starting out this episode. And Kirk, when you do the video edit, go to the 3-minute 10 mark. They're getting chased by Enos to prep for a race. And they're driving over anything and everything, including going into a stream filled with like boulders.
Yeah.
I mean, true boulder. Can you imagine? Bam, 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 driving over 8-inch tall boulders.
I was thinking the same thing as they're driving and you're just watching the car just bounce all around. I'm thinking, okay, I'm out here in my red Charger. I know what a little bump feels like. So imagine trying to get some speed over all these rocks and how that's just beating the car to death.
It's like driving over parking curbs, boom, 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 just over and over and over again.
Yeah. But speed bumps that are offset and the wheels are one side goes and the other doesn't.
At the 5-minute mark, we hear Boss Hogg talking about money, and that's worth watching, but you got to hear it. Boss Hogg cannot say the word idiot. He says something else.
You idiot! You damn blame dag-nabbed idiot! Letting the Duke boys of all people put out that fire!
Idiot. You've never heard that?
Yeah.
I've heard idiot. Is that a South thing?
Yeah.
That is a Bugs Bunny thing for Yosemite Sam. He always calls Bugs Bunny, you idiot.
Yeah. You've never heard that?
Well, from here I have. No one has ever called me. I've been called an idiot, but I've never been called an idiot before.
That's just a funny way of saying idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Boss Hogg says, we'll just swap out this money for phone books. And that's pretty funny. And it's fun to watch that because they have a bag of money and then they hide it and they throw the bag of phone books at one guy. He throws the real money to another guy. That guy throws it to this guy. That guy throws the guy. That guy throws it in the sink or the desk.
Yeah.
And he closes it real quick. The fake bag of money is a bag of phone books. Do people today get phone books?
I've seen a phone book in recent years, and it's like a parts catalog. I mean, it's maybe, not even an inch thick. Used to they were like 3 inches thick, easy.
I remember we would get a new phone book to our house every year.
Yeah,
from AT&T or US West, whoever the phone company was, and I remember opening it and it's everything you get on Google now, but I mean people's name, address, and phone number was in there. And then if they were fancy and they had a second line at their house, that would be listed too. And these phone books, but it was the same kind of paper. You can believe that it's money. It was thick. It wasn't like thin sheet paper. It was kind of thick paper that you could flip over 1,000 times without smudging.
Thank God they never made the movie The Jerk 2, because how would you redo that scene when he says, the new phone books are here, the new phone books are here, the new Google is updated, the new Google is updated.
Wouldn't make any more.
Nah.
I like the old reverse directories where it's like you look up by the street. Like say, okay, I live on Main Street and I'm house number 500. Well, I could look up Main Street, house number 450, and it would give whoever lives there. It'd be Bob Smith lives there, and you could look it up that way.
In the phone book?
It was a reverse directory phone book.
Oh, didn't know.
I don't know that it was really phone book, but yeah, it was reverse directory. It's what I've always referred to them as. But
I use the county property assessor to do that now.
Who's pissing me off with their loud lawnmower this morning?
At the 2025 mark, there's a reward poster for Bo and Luke, and it's a picture of Luke, and I think it's John Schneider's headshot.
Yeah,
it's like
right,
one of those. And then right there, about 10 seconds later, we see Roscoe get out of a Matador police car and leaves the door open. And you could it's just shotgunned with white overspray in there. And that, it's a great telling of how quick these cars are. There must have been a fleet of black, were they police cars, real Matador police cars or taxi cabs or something?
Yeah, they were some kind of county or, city vehicle. But you didn't mention the door jamb was covered in oil change reminder stickers.
Well, stickers on there.
And
I
they
couldn't see what
painted
they were.
right over all of those stickers.
The one time that I asked the Values brothers about this, they just said that they got a fleet of them.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they said, like you've said over and over again, is that the stunt guys just hated. They were dog cars.
Right.
Not only were they ugly, but they were also slow. I mean, there was nothing going for them. So getting rid of them quickly was something that they were okay with.
Yeah.
And
they knocked 2 of them out in one scene, centering the trees.
Yep.
It's like, all right, here's a chance to run 2 of them into the ground real quick.
Bo and Luke do get a plan together, and their plan is to use a hearse to steal the money that Boss Hogg is trying to bury in a fake coffin. And the fake coffin is what he uses to smuggle moonshine out. So it's a coffin with a false bottom. The hearse that they use is the car from the previous episode.
Yeah.
That was white. Was it an ambulance in the last episode?
No, yes, it was. Yeah. And you'll see that this first probably 2 seasons, you'll see that a lot. You'll see cars repurposed over and over and over. Just like the old, from Swamp Molly, the 41 Chevrolet pickup. You'll see it multiple times. Yeah. I think, was it Limo One Miss? I think it was. No, not Limo One. The last episode we did where the door got ripped off of it.
Oh, Deputy Dukes. Yeah.
Yeah, the last episode the door got ripped off, and you'll see it again. I don't remember which episode it is, but it's the one where they're replacing the water heater, and they go to the loading dock to pick up the water heater, and you'll see that same truck sitting like it's maybe one of the workers at the warehouse. You'll see that same truck parked next to the warehouse.
I was so mad when that door got ripped off of that truck.
I know it.
I was so upset. The whole scene, it's coming. And, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But when you see it at the warehouse picking up the water heater, it does have a different door on it. Like it's a dark, either black or some, a darker shade. So either they repaired it or they replaced that door, but it's the same truck.
They get Daisy to pretend to be Bo to distract Enos and Roscoe so that they can get into the coffin works. Prior to this, Bo and Luke have broken in, and they're such a team that when it's time to escape quickly and they need to climb a ladder to get back on the roof, they both start climbing the ladder together.
How dumb is that?
What time did that save?
None. I
It's just
watched
a fun
that
stunt, right?
I watched that, and that's the first thing I've always thought is like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You're not getting anywhere by climbing the underside of a ladder
and then stopping to wait for the guy to go so that you can go under. You
climb
can just
around. Yeah,
it's a little opposite of the way that they get on the roof in the first place by climbing up the rope. Is to show how strong they are.
Yeah,
like one guy pulls the other guy up, and then Bo's rope snap. Which would have meant that he should have been on the ground, head split open, but somehow he has a moment to stand there in midair and go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Grab a hand.
That was always great.
At the 3130 mark, we see Daisy show up in the new Roadrunner. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty fun. And it doesn't get a lot of screen time, but it's clearly, this is her car now.
And they make kind of like not a production, but they give it some pretty good airtime of it pulling in and looping around and then pulling up. And I think when it pulls up, that's the actual car that you hear. It's not like dubbed in audio because it sounds like, it sounds very dead on.
Would that be a 318, 340?
It probably was a 318 car with more than likely just some glass packs, something to give it a little bit of a little poppy exhaust sound.
After Daisy gets caught pretending she is Bo Duke to distract Enos and Roscoe, there is an odd 25-second exchange where she's doing lipstick and smiling.
Yeah.
And awkwardly odd. So I thought it might be fun to listen to it, but Kirk could show it.
All right, Bo Duke, just freeze it right there. I've been after you all this time, and now I got you. And now I'm going to nail you to the barn.
Roscoe Coltrane, you old reprobate. If your mama could hear you talking like that, she wouldn't show up at church this Sunday.
I'm sorry, Miss Daisy, but I thought you were that no-account Bo Duke.
Well, if you can't tell the difference between me and Bo, either you losing your eyesight or I'm losing my figure.
Shoot, Daisy, you ain't losing nothing now. I got 20 vision. Ain't it, Sheriff?
Oh,
hey, Enos.
Hush. Hush. Enos!
Sir?
Hush.
Yes, sir.
Just hush.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's just quite awkward.
Those little grunts that he would make, it was like kind of weird.
They get to the funeral where Boss Hogg is doing a fake funeral for what he believes is a box of money. It is not. It is an actual human being in the box that he is giving the wrong funeral for. While he's doing his fake eulogy, Enos is standing there crying. And it's kind of adorable. And Sorrel Book is such a good actor that he'll go, he'll start crying out.
Yeah, when he was supposed to cry, he was reading his lines, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to cry." And then he belts out.
It's worth listening to.
While Bo and Luke was rushing to get to the money, Boss was having trouble letting it slip out of his fingers.
Neighbors, we're gathered here today to say goodbye to the dearest friend I ever had. I could give you 1,000,000 reasons why my heart is sick at the thought of being separated from the love and inspiration of what's in that there pine box.
The comic value of this show gets so good, and now that I watch these usually with headphones on, it's like it's such a treat because you pick up on all the.
Well, this is about the point that it starts turning into more of a little bit more of a comedy, whereas before, Boss Hogg, he was just really kind of just, I don't know, he just wasn't as comical in previous episodes.
He was more greedy and mean.
Yeah.
He was more what a boss would be. Yeah, I don't know. It ends, they actually were burying a real body. They realized that the money was in the box that was actually sent to the crematorium. It ends up in the crematorium. The episode ends. Everybody is fine.
Yeah.
The General Lees in these episodes, though, are super fun. And they're on 14-inch wheels and bias-tie tires. And that will change. In later seasons, they'll get radial tires, and they'll use all sorts of tires. But these early episodes, when the cars are basically just 10-year-old cars, I truly enjoy. And I love watching Al Wyatt sling that car around. And I frankly want to do that.
Yeah. This episode, you can see Lee 3 quite a bit. And the biggest thing that gives it away is the, like we've talked about from the Georgia episodes, is the gas cap and the ring. It's missing the ring and just has the cap. And you can see that
trim ring around the top. Yeah.
It looks like a little saucer dish, with a hole in the center. But yeah, it's missing the ring and it just has the cap. And so you see that multiple times throughout this episode. So, here we are, however, 11 episodes in, and you've got a Georgia general that started it all, still going strong.
Is this the episode that Lee 3 dies?
No. It makes it all the way through season 1.
There's one more thing that happens in this episode that's remarkable. They do at the start of the show, they do the chase around the tree.
Yes.
That becomes the closing credits for seasons 2 through 7.
Right.
What generally is that?
I'm not sure.
There's either no roll bar or it's set back weird, and like the driver's door is popped open a little bit.
Yeah, and it's at the time this car does not have a roll bar in it, but it does. If you think about it, it very well could be from the last episode where it did not have the roll bar, so that they can do the little makeout scene in the back seat. That may very well be the same General Lee. I didn't really get to study it enough to really pick it apart.
Here's a fun side fact. At my funeral, I've always thought it would be a fun comical exit. Like the last thing, like, thanks everybody, treats are in the lobby, to play the end credits, the Dukes of Hazzard, with that scene, wouldn't it be great? Like one last joke, and it makes sense. Closing credits.
Yeah. Sure.
And I want it to end with the Roscoe, the whole thing.
You know what I thought you were getting ready to say? Being the coffin and all that. I saw a thing where it was someone basically played not a prank, but it was their character, I guess, as they were living, to always play jokes on people. And they said they wanted one of their friends to put a Bluetooth speaker in the coffin and then play this voice recording of him saying, "Hey, let me out. Someone let me out. Can someone open this thing and let me out?" And so as they're laying them down, they're playing that, and it's like everybody's there starts chuckling and laughing, and it was just kind of odd, but it kind of funny at the same time. So,
like the tombstone. I told you I was sick.
Okay, I gave this one 8 corn dogs. Corn dog, how many of yourself do you give this?
Probably 9. And you didn't really even hit on the jump at the very beginning where Enos is chasing them and they jump the creek.
Oh, that is a new jump.
I have, yes, that's a new jump for this. And that was actually one of the very first California jumps. I'll include some screenshots, some behind the scenes, because I've actually had quite a few photos of them preparing for this jump. And, but yeah, they used this jump. They actually jumped this same location multiple times over the next few seasons. And they recycle this same jump so many times. You'll see this jump multiple. I don't even know how many times you see it, but it's many times.
That they're driving through that's got the boulders in it?
It is the same creek.
Thing?
And actually, just before they go down into the creek, you can see, if you're kind of looking at the landscape, you'll notice that it's actually right over by where they jump the car, that they go down into the creek.
The Disney Ranch?
Yes.
And I love the look of this.
I do too. Yeah, the big live oak trees, and the lay of the land is a lot better here than I think it looks better here than it does at Valencia.
So Valencia is my least favorite. I also like the Sherwood Forest ones. This one might be my favorite. I can't tell if it's this or Sherwood, but why 9? What you just love this era?
Yeah, and there again, just the filming location. Something about, I don't know if it's the time of the season or the time of the year that they filmed this, but it's like something with the color. It just kind of pops more. And it may be just because this is around springtime when they're filming this and everything's starting to bloom. And I don't know, it looks better.
It does. When they shoot a scene in the morning, it does seem like a pretty spring morning.
Yeah.
Although this episode, something weird happens, like right about 3/4 of the way through, the colorization, at least on Amazon Prime streaming, just disappeared. It went from being bright and poppy to being dark and grainy.
I don't remember seeing that, but I don't know.
Hard to say. Bernie, you didn't watch this episode and you haven't been paying attention. What's your rating?
Well, I did love your recoiling recollections of this recommended review, so I will follow you and give it an 8.
The thing that reminded me that we had reviewed this recently was because Bernie went over the CB reasoning for saying 555.
Oh, 5x5?
5x5, that's what it was. And I remember him talking about that before, basically saying you're coming in loud and clear.
I had a mentor of mine at our church, even older than Bernie. He had flown a cargo for the Air Force in Vietnam, and he too would use that reference. Like, and later in his private pilot years, he would say, "You're coming through 4x5, 5x5."
Yeah.
4x5 is Bernie 5 must be the best, and 1 is the worst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're coming in 1x5.
Yeah, and that's when they were cruising around in the hearse and calling back to Cooter, and that's when he made that comment.
All right. That is our review of this episode, Season 1, Episode 11, titled Money to Burn. I just now realized that we gave a promo for the future Memorial Day Patreon episode of this show, which was a mistake, because while that is in our future, that happened about a week ago as we released this on June 3rd. So I hope for those of you who joined, you enjoyed it. And if you didn't see it either because we didn't tell you until now about it being then, go to patreon.com/KF show where you can see the rebroadcast and you will have enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I can promise you the pig that we cooked was great.
I'll bet it was. Oh, yeah,
that's awesome.
Pig on
it's always good.
You can find the show on Apple Podcasts. You can also find it on Spotify. You can also find it on YouTube and all of the socials, even the Instagram, Burn, anything else before we go?
This was very last minute, so forgive the crudity, but Donald Bardot was a normal guy, but a great construction engineer. When he was in the Army, his platoon was on the move, as they often are. And they all came to this river too deep to drive the trucks and tanks and all across without drowning the trucks and tanks and all across. Guys, of course, could swim, not the equipment. Oh, how to solve this problem. The sergeant, knowing Donald's skills, turned to him and yelled out, "Bridget Bardot."
Bridget Bardot. The
Bridge
actress?
at.
Bridget built a bridge over it, Bardot.
Thanks,
See,
Vern.
he was an engineer, and that's how you would solve that. And that's probably how they came up with those inflatable things that they inflate across rivers.
To make
and
a bridge.
drive the equipment and such across so it doesn't drown, although the other guys can swim.
I think they cut this part out of YouTube.
Did they?
I don't know.
Let's hope.
I think they would have. Anyway, good to see you guys. I hope that we had a good Memorial Day. We'll see you next week, and we will review something awesome. Probably a movie. We're due for a movie. See you, fellas. Bye-bye.
Later.